Hey guys, this is the second time I'm filming this getting ready with me video. The first time around, I needed a brow wax so bad. They were looking awful and I thought maybe they wouldn't look that bad in the video, but when I went back to edit, they were horrendous, and also the lighting was really bad. I was in my bedroom because it was super early in the morning, and in here when it's that bright, the window panes are like reflective on my face. So it's a little bit later in the day. Got a brow wax yesterday, so we should be good to go. The reason I wanted to film this was to show you the application and how this foundation wears by Dermablend, the smooth liquid. I mentioned this in my cover cream video, and I've been wearing this way more than the cover cream. The cover cream is an amazing full coverage foundation, but for me day to day, it's a little bit too heavy, and this one is like the perfect amount of coverage, and it lasts really long and it looks amazing on my skin. I had this exact makeup look that I'm going to do in my August favorites, and so many of you were so sweet in the comments and asked me to like recreate it and really complimentary on my makeup. I put a lot more makeup on for that video than I normally do because I was doing cream contouring and things. I was just like super bored that day, and I was like just going all out. It's not typically how I wear my makeup day to day, but since cleaning out my collection and purging and like rediscovering things that I forgot that I had, I've noticed that I've been wearing more makeup lately than I normally do. So I'm gonna recreate that look exactly the same, do a little bit of cream contouring, some false lashes, and I think it's a good look for filming because it made my, my skin looked perfect on camera, but it's definitely not typical day to day. So let's get started. Okay, pulling up my hair. I'm gonna go in with my primer first. I have the 5-in-1 by First Aid Beauty. I'm almost out of this. The 5-in-1 face cream. This has SPF of 30. The primer I'm using is the Hangover RX from Too Faced. I really love this, especially for the summertime if your skin's really dry. It's kind of just like a nice, dewy, refreshing primer to prep your skin and rehydrate it before you put makeup on. I've been using this stippling brush from Real Techniques to apply it. I just think it really works the product into my skin better than when I use my fingers. My skin is breaking out down here so badly, and I have this like bump under here. It's like cystic acne. I never ever in my life used to get that, but I don't know if it's like post baby or just as I'm getting older, it's noticing it more and more. Okay. So as always, I'm going to start with my eyes first, and the only shadow that I used in that video was Half Baked that I took from my Urban Decay Naked palette, and I use it with Fix Plus. I just have a Sigma Medium Sweeper E54 brush. I'll zoom you in a little bit. I pick up the product on the brush, and then I spray the Fix Plus, and I find that by doing this and not spraying the brush, wetting the brush, and then going in with and then, putting the brush into the product, it's better because sometimes I've done that in the past and it kind of ruins your product, especially powder products. Like it just, I don't know, they just don't seem the same anymore. So by doing it this way, you don't really have any kind of effect on the actual quality of the product. So I'm gonna do the other eye. I love Fix Plus, and I love doing this. I've been doing this with my MAC pigments since kind of rediscovering those too, and they just look so beautiful like foiled on like this, especially MAC Tan. I've been wearing that a lot too with Fix Plus. Just looks so pretty, and I think these look a little bit more vibrant when they're wet. Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble. And then in the crease, I've just been using a little bit of bronzer just to define a little bit, and I'm using my CC Ombre Bronzer from IT Cosmetics. I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a dent in here, and I'm going to use the darkest part. It's not really super dark, but it's the darkest part of this bronzer, just for some definition. And this is an old brush from Sigma, SS224. They've since like renamed this brush, but it's just a big fluffy blending brush. Actually, I lied to you. I did use one other color in this palette. I just used Virgin, which is the shimmery color, and I just put this right underneath with the same brush, cleaning off that fluffy brush, right underneath my brow bone, just as a highlight. And this will make your newly waxed brows really pop too. I'm gonna go in my inner corner a little bit too. Okay, for eyeliner, I'm using this felt tip pen from Ico. It's the I Do Liquid Liner, and any brand makes these. Stella, I think, started them, and now it seems everybody has their own version. So it's just a felt tip pen and super easy application. Very easy to create a wing if you so choose. I'm gonna just do a little bit of a flick at the end. My lashes have been so bad lately, and I feel like I've talked to you guys about these lash issues, hashtag lash problems, in the past. I'm seriously considering trying out Latisse. I've already talked to my dermatologist about it, but it was like a year ago, and he tried to talk me out of it. He's like, it's not a bad product, but you really don't need it, blah, 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 blah. But especially on this side, like my inner corner lashes, they don't exist anymore. I don't know if they fell out, if they broke and they're just not growing, but it's making me self-conscious, and it's very noticeable, especially when I'm trying to put mascara on. This is the L'Oreal Volume Butterfly Mascara. So I also talked to some of my friends that have tried Unique, and I even asked on Twitter. It's kind of like that fiber mascara. Heard very mixed things. Some people swear by it. Other people say that it's really clumpy. I have tried the fibers in the past when I worked at the salon. The salon that I worked at had their own brand. I forget what kind. It wasn't their brand, but they sold a brand of fibers. And I remember liking the effect of the lashes, but I also remember thinking that it was a pain in the you-know-what to take off at the end of the night. And depending on how much product, how much mascara you put on, it can tend to look clumpy. So when I was talking to one of my girlfriends about Unique, she sent me a link to a brand sold by Groupon, I think called Fresh Look. And she said she tried Unique and she liked it, but she liked the Fresh Look brand better. So I went ahead and bought it. I think it was $20. I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm going to see. And if that doesn't cheer me up about my lashes, I am going to try the Latisse. A couple people said to try castor oil. I don't know. They just look so bad. Like, I feel like I just put mascara on and you can't even tell. And, you know, I don't always have the time to put some false lashes on. So it's just kind of a bummer. And I don't know what to do about it. So I'm curious if you guys have had any experiences with Latisse. The only negative I've read is that it can turn your eyelids dark or turn blue eyes brown, but I already have brown eyes. The situation with your eyelids turning dark, I feel like wouldn't be the end of the world for me because I wear eyeshadow pretty much every day. So for me to like put on a brightening, a brightening eyeshadow to just conceal the darkness wouldn't be the worst thing. And the biggest concern I had was if it has long-term effects, like if your lashes don't go back to normal. And everyone has said that they go back to normal. It doesn't damage them or anything like that. So we'll see. These are the Ritzy Lashes from Kiss. And my favorite, up there with the Eyeliners, favorite drugstore brand. They are volumizing. They make your lashes look fuller. But they're not super dramatic where it looks like you're wearing false lashes. People that wear false lashes probably could tell that I'm wearing them, but to everyone else, I think it looks pretty normal. And I'm just using the Salon Perfect Lash Glue from Walmart. It's almost gone. I'm curious if you guys would like a tutorial on how to put on false lashes. I get asked for one a lot, but I feel like there's just so many on YouTube, and I'm not a pro at this. I wouldn't even consider myself very good at it, but If it's something that you guys want to see on my channel, let me know. I actually had an idea of having my friend Colette in the video and kind of walking her through to do them herself rather than me put them on her or put them on me. I feel like just kind of directing her on what to do might be more helpful. Someone actually suggested that in my real life. They were like, I need you to teach me how. And I was like, I can do it for you. She's like, but I want to learn. She's like, I just need you to like watch me do it and walk me through it. So it kind of gave me an idea. These lashes look different. They look different, but they're the same lash. They look on different. Okay. Foundation. Smooth Camo, shake it up. I've applied this a few different ways. I've applied this with foundation brushes, with my fingers, which is a little bit of a too much coverage for me. So in this video, I'm gonna apply it with my beauty blender. I need a lot of coverage on my cheeks. I mean, not my cheeks, my chin. So I want a little bit heavier there, but this is a really, really nice foundation, and it is buildable. It is medium to full coverage, never looks heavy and it never looks cakey, and it covers extremely well. And I really very rarely find the need to actually go back and add concealer to my spots. It's a little bit light for me at the moment. I have it in the shade Chestnut, but a little bit of bronzer will fix that. I haven't really been wearing any under eye concealer. I haven't been wearing any spot treatment, especially down here, and you guys saw my before with that situation on my chin, and you can just see how well it covered. Super, super impressed. Kind of reminds me of Makeup Forever's Matte Velvet Plus. If you are a fan of that foundation, I think you will be a fan of this one too. I like this little freaking that I have right in the middle of my eyebrows. Okay, so now for some cream contouring, which has been kind of fun lately. I've been enjoying it. This is a little sample I got from Tarte, the Sculptor. It's a perfect contour bronze shade. It's super light, lighter than even my Smashbox Trio contour sticks, but it's still defining, if that makes sense. Like, you can see that there's a shadow there, but it's super light and it doesn't take long to blend, and for that reason I really, really like it. So this is my Sephora Pro Angled Contour 75 brush. You could even use your beauty blender, I suppose, to blend. Super creamy, very easy to blend, and it looks really natural, which is why I love it, especially because I'm not someone that wears very full coverage foundation and like a defined face. So when I have it on and it looks like super obvious, I feel like I could scare people in my real life that are like, whoa. You can go back and add a little bit more, like an extra layer, which I tend to do sometimes for a little bit more definition. So that alone looks so good, but I'm going to add some concealer to just lighten up my face a little bit. This is the Collection 2000, so worn. And just highlight a little bit on my face. Go underneath the contour and also a little bit down my nose. And for this, I'm using the Sigma Precision Angled P84. This concealer is wonderful. I can see why it's such a fan favorite over in the UK. I wish we had easier access to it in the US. This really doesn't take all that much longer. Like, it's not really that much different than the amount, I mean, in the time that it takes for my normal makeup routine. That's a little bit less detailed, but I really love the effect, and Clearly you guys do too from the feedback that I got in that video. Okay, so I am going to or I should say like just accentuate the bronzer a little bit with some powder with a little bit of shimmer. So again, I'm using that ombre bronzer from It Cosmetics, and I'm just going to take like the side of the brush and just go over just to add a little bit more. Like I said, a little bit of shimmer. It's very, very subtle, but it'll just accentuate the bronze parts and the contoured parts of my face. But other than that, I'm not really setting anything else on my face with any kind of powder because you don't need to with this foundation. If anything, I would maybe use like a translucent powder, but I would not use any kind of like Studio Fix or Laura Mercier. I think those would just be a little bit too big. Okay. And a little bit of blush. I'm breaking into my fall blushes. This is Rose Bronze from Chanel. Love this blush. I've had it for a long time. This was the first Chanel product I ever bought when I first started becoming obsessed with YouTube videos. And I can't believe that I haven't hit pan yet because it's a blush that I still continue to wear a lot. Okay, for my eyebrows, I'm using Bobbi Brown Taupe, the shadow, with my E15 definer. I talked about this little duo in my favorites, and I've been loving the powder. It's a little bit different than the Anastasia Brow Wiz that I was using and ran out of. It's kind of a nice change. I feel like I'm rushing, and I hope you guys don't feel that way in the video. When I filmed the first time around, my video was like 35 minutes. So I'm trying to not be as chatty and still effective. If you guys didn't know yet, I joined Snapchat. I've been absolutely loving it. So I will put a link to my, not a link, but I don't even know what they're called. Is it like a username? Put my username below. It'll be in my end slate at the end of the video too, but I've been loving it. It's been so fun. I've gotten to like see so many of the faces of viewers that have been watching me, and that's the best part, I think. Just like putting faces to names and interacting with you guys like in a more personal way. And it's also a nice way for me to kind of like daily vlog or just kind of keep you current in what's going on, because a lot of times I pre-film my videos, and with Snapchat it's like that day, that second that it's happening. So I have been loving it now that I figured it out. It took me so long to like figure out what the heck I was doing with it, but I think I finally got it. Okay, to set my makeup, I wouldn't recommend this, but I'm trying to use it up and I'm kind of shocked. This is the Kula makeup setting spray. I purchased it from Sephora, and I'm so disappointed with it. You can tell it's like full of alcohol. It actually burns when you put it on if you have any kind of like blemishes or open wounds. Like I had a cut on the top of my head, and when I sprayed it the one day, I was like, oh, it like burned so bad. The reason I purchased it wasn't because I needed another setting spray, because you guys, you know I'm so loyal to my Skindinavia, and I will forever be. But what intrigued me was this had SPF 30 in it. So for me, it was like a nice added layer of SPF, especially because I've been outside and it's been super hot and sunny, and it would be nice to just have that reinforcement. But I'm so disappointed. It's a very, it feels very chemical to me, and for a brand that is like organic and natural, it just doesn't feel that way. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm just finishing it up. And then my lips, I'm using the Makeup Forever liner in 15C. It's a nice, like, bright pink. Not too bright, but it's kind of like a watermelon. It's another thing that I've been really enjoying using since I've cleaned out my lip liner stash. And this liner is great. It stays, leaves a nice stain behind. And then Bitch Perfect from Charlotte Tilbury. Then a little bit of this nude gloss from Buxom in Sandy right in the center. And that's that. I'll take my hair down so I look normal again. I hope you guys enjoyed this getting ready with me. I'm sorry, like I said, if it felt rushed to you, but I hope you got something from it. If you try out the foundation, I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know if you have any feedback for me about the lashes, like if you've tried Unique or Latisse, good or bad. I would love to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I just rub my Clarisonic on the bar, and I give my face a good exfoliating whatever every morning in the shower, and I can't even tell you what this has done.